everyone! So we're going to go ahead and talk about October. It's really cold outside, so this is probably going to be the last like 2 videos that I film outside because it's going to start getting really cold, which is so sad. I've also got a new neighbor, so I haven't been filming out here just in case he like comes out of his house and it's awkward. So let's go ahead and start with October. At the beginning, we started with Going Postal, which went really well, and it was really fun, and it was just such a great protagonist and slightly like an anti-hero, and I really enjoyed that a ton, and it just will always stand out in my memory as one of the really great Discworld, I almost said Wheel of Time for some reason, Discworld videos, so that was just lovely and I really enjoyed it a lot. Then we had Chronicles of Avonlea, which was just the perfect time to read that because it's a lot of cozy stories, so it was perfect for fall. So it was just like a collection of short stories that are really sweet, and they all have like a beautiful message, and so I just really enjoyed doing that, and it was just like cozy and fall-like. I just really enjoyed it a lot. Then I read Molly Burke's book, which is really special to me, and I'm going to talk a lot about it next week, so I really don't want to say a lot because it is really special, and I'm going to go ahead and not say too much about it because next week the review's coming out, so next week? Yeah, next week the review's coming out, so I'm just not going to say much here. It's just very special to me, and please read it. Then yesterday I finished Fires of Heaven. So if you don't know, I'm re-listening to The Wheel of Time, and it was just really great, and I think it's kind of moved up in my rankings, which messes up all my rankings, so we're gonna have to do like a re-ranking how my rankings changed video, or I might just stick it in part 3 of that series. So I'm doing a 3-part series of what it's like to reread The Wheel of Time, so that's like the goal. So that is coming soonish. I mean, it's gonna be kind of slow, but yeah, it's gonna be kind of slow because I have to read like 5 books each, so yeah. Anyway, so I've been very slowly starting Two Towers because I'm reading it on Kindle, and I've just been reading it like when I'm waiting for things, that kind of thing. And now I'm like actually starting it now that I've finished Unseen, and I'm at Treebeard, and I absolutely adore Treebeard. He's so sweet, and I just love his lore and everything, and a lot of his quotes are just so quotable. So I just adore Treebeard, and I'm really enjoying reading him, so that's awesome. So excited for the rest. The second half is some of my favorite parts of Lord of the Rings, and it's just so wonderful that I get to read Two Towers all throughout my birthday month, so I'll probably be reading it on my birthday, which is just like so special. I might finish it before my birthday, so we'll see, but I might be reading it on my birthday, so that's just like so special. Alright, then we are about halfway through Words of Radiance. I'm about to get to halfway, probably today or tomorrow. So I'm gonna put up like a halfway point video because these are so long. I don't remember if I did this for Way of Kings. I probably forgot to, but from going forward in the series, I'm gonna do a halfway video because they are so long, and it's so hard to keep track of everybody, and it's so hard to figure out where we started because it's been 600 pages, and that's just halfway. So I'm gonna do a halfway video, and that's gonna be great. And then so all of those are like either finished or in progress, and then my November TBR, I have 2 books, but I obviously might finish more because we'll see my reading speed. I also have Thanksgiving vacation, and so I'm gonna bring like an extra book on that vacation in case I finish extra books. So I'm probably gonna bring an extra Agatha Christie, so you might get 2 Agatha Christies instead of 1, just like on that vacation. But it just depends on how fast I'm finishing Words of Radiance. If I finish really quickly, then I'm gonna read 2 Agatha Christies. But the next Agatha Christie that I'm gonna read is The Body in the Library, which is a Mrs. Marple book. And the last Mrs. Marple book I read was the first one I ever read, and it was very much what I didn't expect. So I'm curious to see if that's the trend of all of them. Last book I read, she was like in this little town, and she was like the weird like citizen of this town, and then she got like, she inserted herself in this murder mystery basically. And so I'm curious, are all of them like that? Like, it just seems kind of weird if like all the murders happen in this town, because this is like where Mrs. Marple lives. Or is she gonna be like traveling? Like Poirot always gets in murder mysteries when he's like on vacation, which is so sad. He's not normally home for his murder mysteries, except for like one that I've read. All the other ones, it's like he's on vacation. Just so sad. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what this Mrs. Marple will be like. I have no idea what Mrs. Marple's like. I've only read one of her books. And then the last November planned read is going to be The Further Chronicles of Avonlea, which is the sequel to the Chronicles of Avonlea. It's another short story, and it's very, very short. I don't know how many short stories are in it, but it is like 90 pages, and that's with tiny font. So it's kind of a hilarious story. I have this really weird copy that I got for like for free, and it's like this tiny skinny little copy. I'll put some B-roll in really quick right here of it, and it has the tiniest print known to man. And it's only 90 pages, and it's so thin, and I just can't read it. So I've just had it sitting on my shelf doing nothing, despite me loving its previous book, The Chronicles of Avonlea. I just haven't read it. But then I realized that it is included in my collection on Kindle of all the Anne books. So I'm gonna read it on Kindle, because I can't read it in my book that I own because the print is way too small for me. So I'm gonna read it on Kindle, which I didn't realize that it was in this collection. I didn't notice before, so that's what I'm gonna do, so I can finally read this book, even though it's like the smallest print known to man. So that's my plan, to read all of those books. So that's 4 books for November, but I'm guessing it's gonna be 5, especially with like travel. I can do audiobooks, so I might be able to finish, well, the next Wheel of Time book is Lord of Chaos, and it's the longest, so I might not finish Lord of Chaos, but like I said, I might be reading 2 Agatha Christie's at the end of November, so we'll see what happens, because I'll definitely have time to read. That's like what vacation's for, right? So it's going to be a great month. I'm also going to be on my friend's farm, which if you've followed me for a bit, you know I go to my friend's farm for like escape for a weekend, so I'm also going to read a lot there. So that's the plan. We'll see how many books I read in November. It'll be really, really fun to see. So yeah, I hope y'all have a great November. Stay warm if you are cold where you're at, like I am. It's shaping up to be a cold one. And I'm so sad. This is probably my last like porch, or my second to last porch video. I'm gonna film one more just now, but yeah, it's so sad that it's over. I'm not gonna be on my porch until next spring. So that's why I wanted to make sure that I was doing that today, because this is really the last time it's gonna be warm enough to be on my porch. So we'll see you next time. And yeah, have a great week. Bye.